guys, welcome back to my channel. It's you from Happiness and Crafting. So today I am going to be working with products from Let's Resin, and I'm so excited because I haven't used resin for a little while, and I'm going to be using the UV resin. I'm going to be using the hard type, which is the clear, and I'm also going to be using the black UV resin. So this is already mixed, ready for you, and it's ready to use straight out of the little pot there. So it's fabulous. I'm also going to be using my lovely little UV lamp as well. So love it. So today my thought is we are in Portugal. I am in Portugal, and it is summertime, and we go out to eat a lot in the summer, and this is to be safe. These are little clips that you put on your table and you hang your bag off. And they can be sit right in front of you, so you know we don't want anything to be stolen or anything off us, do we? So I thought these would be absolutely perfect. I've got two. Now normally they come and this bit is, you know, you've got something in here, a pattern, a saying, or things like that, but these ones I actually purchased and they have nothing in them. They've got like a little lip. So I thought these would be ideal to make our own little resin picture thing to go inside. I've got two. So I've got one for my daughter. My daughter's on holiday. We're here at the moment with my beautiful grandchildren. So I thought I'd just pop up here and make a couple of these. Now, these are quite big. I don't have a little mold for the actual size of this. Now I could actually put the resin straight into that. Because we're using UV resin, I thought maybe, you know, it may not cure at the bottom because I'm using the sort of like the black, so you've got to be careful. So I've got little ones. Look at this little cat. Isn't that just the cutest? I love them. Now this is a sticker, so you can do these, you know, use anything that you want to put in there that you can do it, but I'm using stickers. I'm also using some of this, which is sort of like little it's sort of like iridescent plasticky stuff, and it's beautiful because when you add black to the back of it, look at the color it comes out. It's just beautiful, isn't it? So I did do a butterfly on there as well, but you can't really see it too well. So I thought I would just do this beautiful little cat. I'm going to do another cat, and I'm also going to do one with some little jump rings in. I got some little jump rings, and I thought I might pop a little bit of something in there and see how that works. And these are the little pussycats that I've got. They're just little pet stickers, and you can go use all sorts of stickers in there. And I've also got some chain, some crystal chain. Now these are magnetic around there, so it was a little bit difficult to put these on. I am going to stick these on with resin, with some UV resin around the outside, because putting this chain around the outside, I've just cut them off level like that, so it just fits around the outside lovely. And you've got a little bit of sparkle in there, and then when you put one of these little cabochons in there, it just fits perfect. So I just think that would look really, really lovely. So that's what we are going to be doing today. So let's just take those out. But can you see this is magnetic? So I will pop a little bit of UV resin and just pop that in a little bit later. But let's get on and start. Now I've got this mold. This is 1 inch wide, or 2.5 centimeters. I did have a go at making a domed one, which was this one here, and I put white on the back, but you know, I wasn't quite sure. You can't really see it. I did another one with a little bit of glitter on there, but I don't really like these. They're exactly the same size. This is the little one here, little domed one. So it's exactly the same size. So, you know, you can use a domed one and pop that in there as well, like that. So that would just sit in there as well. So it's entirely up to you whether you want them flat, or you could have like the little domed bit on there, which is quite nice. Oopsie daisy. And don't drop them, don't drop them. So that goes over there. But what I thought, I'm going to just do it like this. So the first thing we are going to do, what should we have? I like his big eyes on this one. I think they look really, really good. So, you know, it just about fits. So I'm going to take this one, which I know is the right size. and I'm going to put it on top of his little head like that, and I'm going to just draw around that bit. So we want that bit. I had a pencil here. I'm just going to mark that around like that, so we are ready to go. Do this while I don't have my gloves on. So let's just see. I think that's probably about right. Can you just see? It's just under his chin. I want the clear around here because I want to put this, the little, oh my gosh, I'm throwing everything around today. This behind it, so I want to be able to see some of that come poking through. So that's why I quite like that little clear bit around there. It's got little bubbles in there, but we're not going to really see those, but I think that's nice. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to pop my gloves on. Now, when you're using any type of resin, you must wear protective gloves, a mask, make sure your room is ventilated, because although they say no odor, you know, you don't want to breathe any of this in. And, you know, it's nice to be protected. You've got to protect yourself. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pop a little bit of resin into this one, which is the 1 inch one, or 2.5 centimeters, just so we've got a base going down there like that. We will just put that on, wiggle that around a little bit, just so it covers the bottom like that. Let's pop that in. There we go. Pop that in like that. Now I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to stick this straight on top of that like that. Now I've got my scissors. I'm going to just give this a little, make sure we sort of get a little bit round on there. It doesn't have to be perfect, because when it's clear, the clear bit at the top, it doesn't matter because you won't see that anyway. I'm not quite sure. I can't really see the pencil mark on here, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to go around there like that. Can you see his little face? Not very round, this bit. So I'm going to cut these bits off like that, just so we've got his little face on there. Look at these little bits. So I'm going to take him and I'm going to just pop him in. Just snip that little bit off there. I don't want it coming over the edge really. So that's, oops. Again, these are just little sort of like stickers that I have. Now they are stickers, but I'm not using them as stickers. I'm not taking the back off because it will go the other way, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to take a little cocktail stick and just poke him in like that. Just so he's in there, covered up. And then we can just go over the back of him with some nice pretty shiny bits. We like a little bit of bling, don't we? A little bit of bling in there. So just cover him up. Just go around. You don't have to do this perfectly on the back because you're not going to see the back piece anyway. You just want to make sure that there's not going to be any bubbles underneath and sort of squash that down. There we go. Perfect. Put that over the top. I am going to get my little lamp and I am just going to pop that on there for a little bit. Put those on there. So let's just set that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take a little bit more like this and put it on here. I'm just going to sort of cover that up so we don't get the light on it. I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm going to just sprinkle that on top. This is just so pretty. You wouldn't think it would sort of like change colour, but it sort of like does. And it just takes on some beautiful colour. So I'm just doing on top of my, no, on the actual bottom of one of my little silicone pots, like that, and just moosh that up so we are all mixed together. I'm not going to come in too close today because sometimes I think I come in a bit too close. So let's just see what that's like. Here we go. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to just scrape that in on top like that, wiggle it around like this, cover that up. Doesn't really matter too much about the bottom bit. It's just this clear bit at the top that we want to sort of have some little glittery pretty bits poking through like that. So let's mush that about. I think that's pretty good. Let's pop that on there. Pop that on there again. Tidy our mess up. So look, you could use that little bathtub or something as well, so don't throw them away. Just going to wipe this off so we can reuse that. I'm going to just wipe that off. I'm just using some kitchen paper to wipe that off because I have run out of wet wipes. I like to use a wet wipe as well. So make sure your area is all nice and clean, like so. Put that over there, oopsie daisy. But do you know what I mean? I love this one. I really do think that that looks lovely, just like that. And especially if you're out in the summertime, this on, you know, catching the sun on your table, I think would just look lovely as well, wouldn't it? People will wonder what you've got on there. But I'm loving this little one. Look at him. Look at his lovely big eyes. Can you see that? There we go. Oh, I just think they're so cute. So if you've got, I've got other animal ones. I've got these ones. These are the cat ones, but a lot of the little ones are too big. Their little faces are too big on here. So whatever stickers you've got, use those. Again, you don't need to use cats. You can use butterflies and dragonflies and all sorts of things in there. Whatever you fancy. But this one, I like him as well. But I think I'm going to have to get some more of these. I think they're lovely. I think they're going to be really, really nice. So let's just see how this is doing. I'm going to turn it over. Oh look, you can just about see his little face in there. I'm going to turn that over just so that we do the top as well. And the other one I'm going to do, I'm going to just try and make a little pattern, or maybe like a little flower with these little jump rings. They're just little silver jump rings, which I use a lot of, and I just thought it would look really kind of nice with those, with this underneath. I'm hoping anyway. That would just be like a little experiment to do. Okay, let's open that up. I'm going to put some of the UV black resin, UV resin, and this is lovely. I love this. This is just ready done. And just pop that in there. It's fabulous. Make sure that just goes all the way around. Like that. Pop that down. Covers it all up. I'm going to take my lighter and just make sure there's no sort of little bubbles in there. Not that it really matters, because that's going to be the back, and we're not going to see that anyway. My little lamp is a little bit loose. Doesn't quite stand up. So I need to put this. Let's just prop that up like that. There we go. So that's in there. Right, 2 seconds and I will be back. Okay, so that's the 2 minutes up in there. So let's just see, it's all nice and hard in there. So let's just pop him out. Oh, look at that. Oh, isn't that just a gorgeous little cat, little face? Can you see that? It's a bit blurry. Oh, lovely. You can see the little bits around the side there. The little, I'm just going to cut these bits off, just when it's a little bit soft. Just around the edge. Look at that. Oh, he's lovely. And then that will just sit in there like that. Oh, he's so cute, isn't he? Oh, love them. Love them. So that's that one done. We don't need to do anything with those. And now what I'm going to do is let's just take that plastic off there. I'm going to pop some of these in. So I'm just wondering whether it's just to put them in and then the resin over the top. So let's just see. Now I've got little bits of plastic everywhere. So I've got some tweezers. No, I've still got plastic. There's little bits of plastic everywhere. I've got some tweezers. Let's pop them in here. Just wondering, I did sort of try and make something with this earlier. That's why we've got these ones here. I'm hoping they're the right size. So I can do sort of a flower in here, I think. These are the biggest ones. So these are just jump rings, any jump rings that you would use for, you know, jewellery findings, like that. And I've got a little one in the middle, like that. Let's pop you down, and then I'm going to put the diddy one in the middle like that, and then these. Don't think that's pushed down quite. That's it. Don't want to get my head in the way, but I can sort of make a little flower, and then these can go in the middle. Not quite sure what this is going to look like, but you know, if you can put all sorts of things in here. If you've got like little metal charms, you can put them in here as well. Actually, I do have little metal charms. I should have a look, shouldn't I? Oops. Let's put that there. You know, as I was going and thinking about what I'm going to put in there, you get all sorts of ideas. I'm trying to limit it, but also trying to give you ideas as well, if you know what I mean. So let's put those on. Oops, just taking you out. Okay. Now, I think that's all right. I'm going to put, can you see? Should I just come in just a tiny bit? I don't want to come in too far. So that's the little shape on there. Then I'm just going to go over the top, hoping that they're not going to move, just with a little bit of clear. Like that. Just to hold them in place. Pop that around. I suppose you could put this down first. You could put the resin down first and then pop them in. I'm not quite sure which will be the easiest thing to do, to keep them in place. Or you can, you know, put your bits of colour in, you know, individual little circles. But I'm just going to put this over like that. Okay. Are we all covered? I think that's pretty much covered. Put these up in there like that. You need to be in the middle. Trying to sort of make it look like a flower. These need to be a little bit more evened out. What do you think? That's pretty good, isn't it? So let's just pop the lamp over. While this is curing, I'm going to have a look and see what little metal charms I've got. So there we go. We'll just leave that for 2 minutes. Okay, so once that's curing, I've just got my little charm box out here. So I've got little keys in there. I've got a few things probably wouldn't fit. I've got a little owl. I've got all sorts of things in here. I've got little tiny little dragonflies, little butterflies. So just, I mean, you could use all sorts of things. There's a little, I'm not quite sure what that is. It's like a sort of a tiger or something. A clock. You could probably cut the little ring off at the top. But look, you've got a little clock on there. Little Christmas ones, little Christmas trees. So yeah, you could put all sorts of things in. I do have some little fairy ones here as well, which are quite nice. Oh, that's a little unicorn. All sorts. So yeah, have a rummage through your charms as well. They would look quite nice on there. A little key in there. And I think as well, you could have like those little silver cogs as well, isn't there? So I think that's pretty good now. Okay, so there we go. So that's the sort of pattern that I've done. Now I'm going to, let's pop some. I'm going to bring you back out again in a minute, just so it doesn't go blurry. I'm going to take a little bit of this. Oops, pop that on there. I'm going to take, what shall we put on this one? Shall we have a little bit of glitter? Now, I've got my chunky glitter out. This is Let's Resin chunky glitter, and this is just like my favourite. I love it, absolutely love it. So let's put a little bit of blue in there, shall we? Let's pop a little bit of blue on this one. Not too much. Oh, we can't do resin without a little bit of glitter. Now let's use this end. Just mix that up. Like that. I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to bring you back in again, look. Just a little bit. I'm going to put this so this bit's facing me on here. And then I'm just going to take little bits. Oops. Just sort of blob them on. You should then, it doesn't matter if you go around off the edges, because you should be able to see the silver on the other side, if you know what I mean. Let's put this on. Oops. Like that. Little blob on there, little blob in the middle. Okay, I'm going to quickly just harden that, just a quick little blob, just so when I put some more on, it's not going to go together, merge together. Let me just wipe that off. There we go. That will do. Like that. I'm going to take another bit. Let's come back out again. I know I always go in and out. I'm sorry guys, I don't want to make you sick, but I'm going to add a little bit of pink to this. I know it probably won't make a huge difference, but oops. Oh, that might be a little bit too much, but I need a bit more resin now. Oh, I was a little bit heavy-handed on that one. There we go. All these bits you can have left over, you can make a, you know, just pop it in another little mould. Make something pretty. Right, so we're going to go just around like this. Just blob it on. Blob it on. There we go. A little bit around. It looks a bit messy. It does look a bit messy, but I think it's going to look quite nice on the other side. Well, I hope so anyway. Let's just go around here. This blob. Little blob over there. Okay. Put a bit more. Bit more on there. Bit more on there. Okay. Looking a little blobby. We're looking a little blobby, but that's going to be okay. Right, I'm going to actually just scoop this into this one here. Then I can make a little cabochon on this. Just so we don't waste it. We don't like waste. Put that on there. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of on there to fill that one up. Right, let's pop this over and cure that for 2 minutes, and then I will tidy my mess up and I will be back. Okay, so there we go, that's gone off. So let's hope, guys, it's going to look, can you just see a little peek at that underneath? So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to mix up a little bit of this again, because I want this iridescent behind it as well. Actually, before I mix that up, I'm going to just put a tiny bit of this over the top, just to, you know, give it a little bit of a layer between this and the flakes again. Just push that around. Just a little bit, doesn't need too much. There we go. Pop that in there. That can go back under, and then we can just put that on there for few seconds while we mix this up. A little bit, another blob of that. Little bit of the flakes in there. And then I will just mix this up. Just block the light a little bit. Mix that in, okay. Turn that off. And I'm just going to pop this over the top. Scoop that in. Push it around. Like that. Do apologise, they're actually doing the garden outside, I think. Next door's garden. It's a bit noisy today. I think that's probably about it. There's another little bit. Make sure we get them into the little areas where, you know, we don't have any of the glitter, so we don't get the clear bits like that. Okay, so we're going to harden that, and then we shall put a little bit of black over the top. Then I'm just thinking I'm going to just take this little bit out. It's a bit sticking, that bit's a little bit big. It's sticking up a little bit too much. Just need the sort of the flatter bits. There we go, that's better. So let's just cure that for a minute, and then we will just pop a little bit of black on. And then what we are going to do is I'm going to put the chain around it. Now I do have this, which is B7000, which is the same as the E6000. I'm not quite sure whether to put resin with that, stick that on with the resin, or stick that on with the B7000. I'm not sure. I might be easier with the glue, because I don't want, because obviously these are going to be darker, so the resin, the UV resin, the light's not going to be able to penetrate through that, and I don't want them to fall off. So let's just do that. There we go. I'm going to put some black over the top of this one, like that. Oh, I do love UV resin. It just gives you such an instant result, doesn't it? I think that's it. It's a little bit domed. I didn't really want it to domed because it doesn't sit properly. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit of this off. We want it to sort of sit flat, don't we? And I've gone and sort of domed that a little bit. So I'm going to just take a little bit off. I probably do. I'm going to just make sure there's no bubbles, not that it really matters. Not that it really matters, and I think I've gone over the edge there. But we can tidy that up. So, pop that on. Pop that on like that. And I will be back. Okay, whoops. I think that's done. Let's take him out like that. Oh, look. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's beautiful. Oh, I like that. That's so lovely. What do you think that will look? I'm just going to just chop these just a little bit around the size. Oh my gosh, that's lovely. Can you see? You can see the silver on those. There's little silver jump rings on there. That's really nice. I like that. So what that would look like. That's our little cabochon on there. I'll leave that in there. Now I might have to sand that down because I did dome it a little bit. But we can put that in. Let's put this on. Let's just see what that would look like around the edge. Pop that in. I already cut these to the right length, just so it would save a little bit of time. That just fits in there lovely. Look at that. That's fabulous, isn't it? Isn't that nice? I do like the chain in there. Now guys, do we want that in there? Where's our little pussycat? This is the one we just did, isn't it? Oh, he's so cute. Now, it's going to have to line up with this little bit here, because this is the going to be the sort of clip edge, isn't it? Look at that. That's so cute. Oh, that is so cute. Now, decisions. Shall I glue that or shall I resin it? Oh, I think I will glue it, guys, because I think that's going to be the easiest way. So I'm going to just put this on. I'm going to just go straight in with this. Now I'm going to make sure the little face has got to line up with this little bit here. So let's put the chain on first. Just going to pop a little bit around here. This you have to leave for a little while to harden, to cure. So let's just pop that around. Let's do the chain first. I'm going to keep my gloves on with this, using this glue, because I don't really want to touch the glue. So this is not going to be easy either, because it's magnetized. Let's squash these in. Shall I come in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing? If you can see what I'm doing, push these out. And also this gives you a little bit of time, a little bit of wiggle time, because this glue isn't sort of like instant sticky, is it? Not too much anyway. Let's just push you down, pop you in. Perfect. I think that is pretty good, isn't it? Like that. Fits in really well. Squash that down. There we go. There we go. Right, this was here. Make sure I haven't got it. And we were just going to stick our little pussycat in like that. Let's take this out. We're going to take the glue. Okay, sorry, I think my camera just clicked off then, but I've stuck that in with the B7000, and that's stuck in really well. So it's giving you a little bit of wiggle room. So I think that's looking lovely. So when it's on the table, this just unravels like that. And then that will be facing you, and then you hang your bag from the hook, and the weight of your bag holds it down onto the table. But oh, I'm so pleased with that one. So let's pop you to the side, and we are going to do this one. Now, shall I put the pussycat in there, or shall I put something else in there? This one in there. I kind of like that one, but I do need to do the back on this, because it's a bit domed, so I'm not going to put that one in there. Oh, decisions, guys. Decisions. What I'm going to do, I might just do them both with the little pussycats, because I think these are just the cutest. So I'm going to go in with my glue. I'm just going to wipe the nozzle off. Just wipe this nozzle off, and then I'm going to put, like I did on the other one, just a little bit around the outside, like that. This glue is the same as the E6000. It's just that it's got a nicer tube on it, this one. The E6000 has that metal tube, doesn't it? So let's pop this on. I'm going to lie it over like that, and then just push this in like that. Push it right in. Gather it all up around the edges. Now I'm using crystal. You could use pearls. You could use all sorts of things around the edge. You might even have a nice little mold that would be the same size as this. I think I should really measure it, shouldn't I? I think it's like 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches in there. There we go. That's in there, nice and tidy, isn't it? So nice and tidy in there. So let's just bring you in just a little bit, so you're just going to see that. Can you see that? Just a little bit. Oh, we like a little bit of sparkle. I really do. Let's push those, make sure they're around the edge and not get any resin on my tweezers. And we don't want to get resin anywhere else either, do we? So these, she's just cute. Let's put you on there. Let's put some glue on the back of here. Again, you can add the UV resin, but because I've got black on the back, I don't want it to not adhere to it. Do you know what I mean? And come off. So let's just plop you in there. Like that. Squeeze that down. It's in the right place. Oh, I love these. Do you know what I mean? If you've got somebody that loves sort of like whimsical sort of little things like this, they're fantastic. And especially as well, if you do a market stall, I think these are a great idea. Look at that. Oh, I just think they're fabulous. Sorry, my camera just clicked off again, but look, they are beautiful. So I have the two now. Look at that, nice little close-up. Oh, which one do you like? This one looks like a little owl actually, doesn't he? With his big eyes. But I'm loving them, absolutely loving them. So it's a great way to use up your stickers as well. And for if you are new to resin work, UV resin is a perfect start. So I'm just going to pop out a little bit more so we can see them. So yeah, UV resin is perfect. So the especially Let's Resin products are fantastic. Really good start to working with resin. So we've got the black, no messing around with this one, that's already mixed up. I do have the white as well, which is fantastic. So we've got the UV resin, and I have also used my light, which is rechargeable, so you can do it anywhere and it just pulls out like that. Everything's going to be linked underneath. You will get a discount code under there as well. Do pop over to Let's Resin website, because it's just got all sorts of lovely things on there. It's just brilliant. So I will link down everything that I've used under the video. So please do give it a go. So there we go, guys, a fantastic little gift as well for somebody, because you know we don't like to lose our things, do we? And we don't want anything stolen. So having these, which is a great idea to pop onto your table when you're out eating, or wherever you are, where you hang your bag. You don't want to hang on the back of the chair. These are brilliant. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys. Bye-bye.